Renewed US-Iranian hostilities are eroding an interim agreement signed in June, highlighting disagreements over the Strait of Hormuz, among other issues. The memorandum wording was vague on key points. Analysts say that leaving tough issues, notably the fate of Iran's nuclear program, to be a second phase of negotiations. Have a look at this report.
Renewed hostilities between the United States and Iran are eroding an interim agreement signed in June. A battle for control of the Strait of Hormuz is underway, as are strikes by both sides. US President Donald Trump said,
"I think it's over."
And Iran's top negotiator said the era of one-sided deals is over. So is that it? Each side accuses the other of violating their commitments, and the memorandum's wording is vague on what those are, analysts say. Thomas Junot of Chatham House in London says the problem is it deferred the most complex issues, such as how to wind down Iran's nuclear program, until a final deal is reached.
It was largely inevitable that there would be disagreements between the two sides, that there would be disagreements on the interpretation of the vague terms.
Junot says that's why the Hormuz Strait has again become a flashpoint.
Vagueness plays an important role in catalyzing the resumption of hostilities in the sense that it creates significant space for the two sides to disagree on shipping in the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran has fired on vessels it said attempted an unapproved route and declared the strait closed again. Trump then reinstated a blockade of Iranian shipping and proposed charging a 20% fee to guard the vital waterway.
Both sides have very clearly been interpreting the agreement differently. Iran interprets the framework as implying that it can exercise a serious degree of control on shipping in the strait, whereas the US is interpreting the agreement as implying that Iran must allow for the freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz.
The US has now revoked a license allowing Iran to sell oil. This was part of the MOU and a big win for Iran, whose economy was suffocated by sanctions. Tehran condemned this as a breach. But, Junot says, hostilities in Hormuz are the tree, and the roots of the resumed hostility go deeper.
It goes beyond the vagueness in the framework agreement and is explained more by the much more serious disagreements between the two sides on Iran's nuclear program, on regional security in the Middle East, on Iran's missile program, on its drone program, on Iran's support for violent and terrorist groups throughout the region. And these are all issues that the framework agreement of June simply kicked down the road.
No date has been set for further talks. The two sides were meant to reach a final deal in 60 days. It took years for Iran to negotiate a 2015 nuclear agreement with world powers. Then Trump withdrew the United States during his first term. But Junot says both sides have left the door open.
So when he says that the ceasefire is over, he partially means it in the sense that it expresses his skepticism towards the ceasefire, which I think pretty much everybody shares. But at the same time, he has also said that he is open to continuing negotiations, even if only indirectly, with Iran. The Islamic Republic has also signaled that, like the US, it is not willing yet to completely abandon the ceasefire and not to continue indirect talks with the US. From that perspective, if we take a couple of steps back, the ceasefire is absolutely in a fragile and difficult position, but it is not necessarily over.